Let us see here, ladies and gentlemen. Tony Gaskins here. See if we get this thing here set on up. Now, got to interview one of my clients at 9 p.m. So I'll be on here till 8:58, 8:59. Then y'all will get to hear from Coach Jessica at 9 p.m. and learn about all the amazing things she has going on. I'm gonna try to get this here, and y'all got to forgive me, it's a little dark in here, and this here YouTube, it be a little slow to connect and to populate, because the notifications got to go out. So y'all forgive me. Let's see. Let's see here. Hey there, Diana. Now, this is also, if y'all have any questions in the Blessed Tribe, this is a Blessed Tribe Q&A. For those of y'all not in the Blessed Tribe, under the videos, you'll see where it say join. And so I pop on here to do these Blessed Tribe Q&As. Some of y'all were able to see a episode from a documentary that I filmed called Where Is He Already? So if you missed it, just click on my videos, and I think it went up yesterday, and that probably was from 10 years ago or more, 10 or more years ago. So y'all check that out, and that's what we working back towards, scripted and unscripted. My first company with an investor was a film production company. My film production company, Gaskins Productions. And so we bringing that on back to get back to that form of media, because back at that time, it was so early. You know, nobody was doing nobody with a brand was doing independent projects. But since then, Kev on Stage got into the business and opened a studio in LA and started producing some content as a influencer. And then other than that, I really don't know any other influencers that was into it. So I'm going back into it now that the stage is set and the scene is out there, open and ready. And so y'all forgive me, I'm adding something for my trying to book something for my wife. Just came in. Y'all forgive me. Single house, it maybe a version, something similar kind of to it, but I'm sure that'll come back as well. Just, you know, working on the right crew, raising some funds and things of that nature. Then once we hit the ground running, we gonna be running. We gonna be going. If y'all have a question, make sure you put hashtag Q in front of it so I could see it. And y'all forgive me, because I put that event in my story there. So I'll be at the Gospel Explosion this Sunday in Atlanta. So if you're in the Georgia area, they having that gospel event, and I'll be being interviewed by Hardly Initiated. And so I decided to, you know, help them out, do that interview. It's not a lot of voices out there, and So they called me and asked me to come on there, and we talked through some things. And that's not a love and relationship topic though. We're doing a interview on family and community and legacy. So if you're in the Georgia area and ain't got nothing to do Sunday other than church, then come on out. I'll be there. I think my interview is around 2 p.m. about 2 p.m. This Sunday, and wanting to pop on here. And now seeing we still going through a lot right now, and still reeling. A lot coming out about the Charlie Kirk killer. It's a lot of stuff I was seeing, so we're gonna be looking into that. I'll get to address it as I get to learn more about it and see more of what happened. I'm still seeing a lot of back and forth. Now, one thing I cannot wrap my mind around, I seen some sisters saying that none of what Charlie Kirk said was racist. And I don't know if racist is the term, but I definitely know that he said enough, whether it was sound bites or not, that was insensitive towards black people, and he definitely don't see black people as equal to white people. That's for sure. That's for sure. And so that was mind-boggling to see the black people who could not really see that. And I want to address that, because if you're a black person, you really got to love yourself. You really got to love yourself, and you have to believe that you are worthy. You got to believe that you are equal. A lot of times it's things we don't like about black people as black people. And so when a white person says what we was thinking or feeling, we jump on board. But it's one of those situations of, you could pick on your sister, but I can't pick on your sister. You could pick on your brother, but I can't pick on your brother. And black people need to have more pride and not let other races speak on black people, because that's in-house business. And should nobody be speaking on somebody else's race other than the good that they see, and or their own personal experience. And that's what we got to get to that point, because that be part of the problem. When they could take and find, when another race can find a black person that's going to denigrate and disrespect their own race, they'll take and weaponize that black person. And you see that being done a lot in politics. They'll take a black person who gone Sambo and Shambuk, and they'll use that person as a weapon against their own people. And that should never be the case. So if we not, talking about the trailer parks and all of that that's going on, that's full of different races or whatever races, and we not going and doing whole podcasts and whole tours talking about the Asian race, the white race, the Hispanic, then nobody shouldn't be able to do that on black people. Everybody need to sweep around their own front door and then come when you call. And other than that, mind your business. Now we got some questions in here, so we're gonna hop on in the, how do we find balance in not feeling like we have to be all the way together before feeling ready to date? I feel like I'm so focused on the 3 B's, I'm not receptive to dating as much. That's good that you focus on the 3 B's. That is good. And you really will know when you're ready to date when you are comfortable being single. And a lot of people get that confused. When you really, really want to date, that's when you got to be careful, because it borderlines desperation. But when you are comfortable being single and being in the season of focus that you're in, that's when you actually ready to date, because you're not desperate. And so what you have to do is just be mindful, and you got to create a rule. If somebody approaches you and they look like somebody you would be interested in, don't allow yourself to turn them down or to not talk to them or not exchange numbers because of you working on the 3 B's, because you will never be perfect. And we always are our own worst critic. So you got to realize and understand that. Now that's interesting there now. Jimmy Kimmel, wow, got suspended? Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Well, I guess it could have happened the other way around too. Like, we seeing people getting suspended and fired for their comments on Charlie Kirk, but that lady show got in trouble. Was it Paula Dean or what her name was when she said the N-word? And she lost everything. So it go both ways. So I guess it makes sense. What questions should you be asking, and what should y'all be talking about when y'all first start getting to know each other and going out on dates, and within the first 3 months? In that first 3 months of dating, you really want to be very natural. You don't want to go in with a list of questions. You really are building up. So you talking about the game, the politics, current topics, pop culture. You talking about what y'all do for work, talking about y'all family situation, things like that. Very natural, very organic, and just let the one answer lead to the next question. Because what people mess up is they go in and they interview somebody, and they interview them, and the interview almost feel like a first 48 episode, and they interviewing the person, and it's like, so what do you feel about this? What do you feel about this? And what about this? And what about this? And what about this? And 50 Cent, 21 questions. And then the person feel like they on the witness stand, and you ruin it because it shows that you jaded, shows that you unhealed. So you want it to be so chill, so free flowing, so natural, so organic, and you are reading between the lines. You listening to what's not being said. You also double listening to what's being said, and you're gonna still be able to pick up what you need to be able to pick up. There's a woman going viral on TikTok saying how she was in a relationship and says he was okay with it, but people are saying there are men that will respect that. Please give men point of view. Now hold on, let me read this again. So you talking about two different things. She used to be in a relationship. She used to be in a relationship, and she does and says he's okay with it. But people are saying there are men that will respect that. Please give men's point of view. Now I don't know if write that again, Starfish, what you asking me. Are you asking me, are men okay with a woman doing OnlyFans? And I know that might be part of what you asking, so I'm gonna answer that, and the answer is no. I was looking at an interview somebody sent me, and it was a guy who, he a black guy in his 50s. He tell men not to get married. And then there was a young guy who he's married, and he was arguing for marriage. Y'all forgive my son texting. And so, and there was a lady on the show, and she said that she does OnlyFans, and she's a wife. I think she might be a mom too. And I'm gonna tell y'all something. The only way, it's only a couple ways that a man gonna be okay. Well, I'll tell you this. The only way a man is okay with his woman doing OnlyFans is he gay. Might not be out the closet. Nobody might not know. He either gay. He's gay. The only other way is he broke. He broke and he doesn't love the woman anymore. So OnlyFans is better than getting a divorce. That's the only way. It is physically impossible. It is physically, emotionally, psychologically, spiritually, all the alleys, impossible for a man to be okay with his woman doing OnlyFans if he is heterosexual and he is in love. I hate to break it to you. If a man let his woman do OnlyFans, he is her pimp. He is her pimp, and he is not in love. I don't care what she say. I don't care what he say. And I will tell them to their face. And if I search that man's laptop or his phone, he is into pedophilia or homosexuality. Hands down, there's no ifs, ands, and buts about it. Because men are so territorial. Men so territorial, even healthy men don't even want another man talking to his woman. Like, we don't really want another man. The only time we okay with another man talking to our woman is if he is the opposite of what she attracted to. He got to look like Mr. Rogers in the neighborhood to be standing there holding a conversation with our woman. Like, men territorial, and it ain't about being insecure. It ain't about being jealous. It's men know men. Men don't trust men. And men know how nasty the male mind is and how men are. And I let it go with like soccer, at the soccer game and all of that and all that. I let the white dads and stuff, even the black dads talk to my wife because it's soccer. But I still talk to her about that and let her know. Like, hey, but at the end of the day, it's like, ain't nothing a woman could do about a man's fantasies, about where he going in his mind. So you got to think about that. Oh, okay. Now that's the question now. Now y'all, I'm gonna try to see if you put a hashtag Q in your thing, I'll see it there. Enjoy your God bless you. Shout out to the advice on comparing ourselves to family that seem more successful than us. I haven't smoked in 5 weeks, but fam seems to live however they want and still have success. What am I doing wrong? I put that in my story the other day where I said that success is living righteous. And somebody responded and said, well, it looked like a lot of people out here doing the wrong and they got success. One thing I've learned as a life coach, Summer, is you can't believe nothing you see. Your family could look like they successful and be behind on every bill. We all be We all be going through the same things at the same time. If one person struggling, we all struggling. It's a reason why Elon Musk going back to Tesla and talking about daddy's home, and he got Tesla about to do him a financial package that's gonna make him a trillionaire. It's because that money running low. As much money as he got, his money running lower than he wanted to be, because they dreams and they ventures be bigger than they pockets, and we don't be knowing what they have going on. See, everybody don't plaster their business on social media. So when you looking at success and see me now being successful and seeing what I have to go through and what I have to deal with, that's how I don't believe nothing else no more. Me having people in my circle who spend hundreds of thousands of dollars in a weekend, but then will come to me stressing and upset about money and be tight. But I watch them spend hundreds of thousands in a weekend. It let me know that billionaires have tight financial times because they be moving and doing things. So an average everyday person, don't ever in your life envy an average everyday person. You can't believe nothing you see. I'm glad I got my real Rolex on, but it's watches that I done seen. You can't tell no difference, and they cost $50, and they is a replica of a watch that somebody else paid $200,000 for. And in passing, you can't tell a difference. You can't believe nothing you see. With DH Gate, with Alibaba, you can't believe no luxury. Only thing you can believe is a car. And I seen a 2015 G-Wagon that was converted to a 2025. So now you can't even believe cars. So don't ever compare yourself. Yes, I'm asking if men are genuinely okay with that. People are arguing in the comments saying men will accept that, give a normal relationship. Starfish, you typed it again and still had your typo in there now. But no. Men will not accept that. Now if a man is what I call a corn baby, the PORN baby, those men might accept it because they're so desensitized. So I'm gonna tell you something. If a man accepts his woman doing OnlyFans and she actually like doing stuff, he throwed off. He might even be snorting powder. But he is not no average, everyday, walking amongst us normal man. Like he Jeffrey Epstein nephew. He throwed off. Bad. What's your thoughts on being friends with someone who is a non-believer? My best friend just revealed to me that she only believes in a higher power and said, I can't even say Jesus' name. Yolanda? Yolanda? Now, you'll have to talk to the Lord about that. You'll have to talk to the Lord. Maybe the Lord is putting you in a place to show her the love of Christ. Me personally, I'm not talking to no atheist. Well, she's not an atheist, but I'm not talking to somebody that don't believe in Jesus. Not as a friend. You could pay me to talk to me. You could be my client, but for free. And you can't say the name of Jesus. I don't want to be nowhere near you. I got to get from around you. Because somebody who can't say the name of Jesus, Yolanda, she will sleep with your boyfriend. She will sleep with your husband. If somebody can't say the name of Jesus, and if they done used to know, if they claim to used to know Jesus, and now they can't say the name of Jesus, they are demon possessed. So listen, I have to love them from a distance. Okay, God bless you. You know, well, I don't know if it's God. Well, bless you. Keep your head up. You know, keep going. You know, I'm going into a season myself, so I might be a little distant, a little unreachable. Don't take it personal. It just, I got a lot I got to work on. On. No, God bless you. But that's me now. God might call you to show her the love of Christ, and you know, only put hashtag Q in front of that and write that again and finish that down. Yeah, no. What are some signs to look for when God is telling you you're not ready today? Every time I think I'm ready, it never works out. If it don't work out, then that's a sign God telling you you're not ready to date. Because when God is in it, God can't fail. But you also can't assume that God have anything to do with your dating life unless you invite God in it and you living pleasing unto God. So if you are touching on yourself, or you using battery operated devices, or you in fornication, or you watching porn, then God has nothing to do with your dating life. You all the way on your own, and the prayers ain't getting past the ceiling. Now, when you consecrate your life, if your life is consecrated and your heart desires love, and you're not attracting love, and it's not working out for you, then that is a sign you need to work on your purpose. Because when a woman gets into a relationship, her purpose may get put on hold, may get put on the back burner, may have to be done with altogether. Because a woman is instructed to submit unto her husband as unto the Lord. So a woman joins a man in his mission, unless that man's mission is to support her in her mission. But one of y'all got to have a mission, or both of y'all can have a mission and then figure out how to support each other. But when you get in a relationship, things change. What do you think about Adam 22? His girl is an OF girl. It's just, you know, he have a lot more issues going on. You know, that Adam 22, he deal with a lot. You can tell by how many tattoos he got, and you know, he kind of seemed like a stoner. He seemed like he do cocaine and pills and alcohol, like to the point of passing out. Like he seemed like a very unstable person. But even with that, it's still more so when you feel like a lame, but you associate it to what you deem as cool, then you will let your girl do OnlyFans because now you think that make you look like a boss, and you think that make you look like a pimp. When your girl do OnlyFans, you are a pimp. And so some men who have not grown up and they don't know themselves, they will go through that phase of letting their woman do OnlyFans because they want to feel like a pimp, and it's bothering them. It's eating up everything in those men. Like they cry in the car. They cry in the car, and they also still seek revenge. They sleep with other women. They sleep around. They do a bunch of craziness, you know, to try to resolve their ego and feel like they got something and they doing something. But you'll never see a man who even close to being a real man letting his woman do OnlyFans. Point blank, period. Odd. And it ain't about nothing about none of that. It ain't nothing about no confidence and all of that. Yeah, Mr. I'm on the software today, y'all, so y'all don't have to post y'all question multiple times because I'm able to go in order. So y'all heard me now, because y'all don't be listening. Y'all be looking somewhere else listening. I said y'all only have to post y'all questions one time because I'm able to scroll through the chat. And we only got about 50 more minutes on here because I got my interview going up at 9 p.m. with Coach Jessica. So y'all tune in and make sure you watch that. She's got some very amazing things going on for the sisters, for the ladies. And sisters, that mean, white and Hispanic too now. Don't y'all feel left out. Y'all forgive my son texting. Is it wrong to stay best friends with a woman who is now married to another woman? It was after 20 years of friendship. Wrong? Now, it depends on your belief system. And because you're going to be like who you be around. So, and I'm looking for the scripture. But you're not in a relationship. But it's similar to it, but you just a friend. So, I mean, you could show the friend the love of Jesus as a friendship, but 2 Corinthians 6:14 kind of speaks a little to that. Be ye not unequally yoked together with unbelievers, for what fellowship hath righteousness with unrighteousness, and what communion hath light with dark? So it depends on your belief system when it comes to that. Now, me personally, I would never be best friends with a man who is into men, because then that means he could end up being into me, and that means they could end up being into me. And if you willing to be with the same sex, you might also be willing to do a threesome. So they might be trying to invite you in there soon, and then all of y'all in there with y'all dildos and stuff and just acting a fool. But me personally, you could be her friend, but best friend and all of that, and you got to be careful. They be done invited you into something, and next thing you know, you doing the same thing. Yeah, Yolanda, Yeah, Yolanda. Ooh-wee. How do men view single moms? I have a 6-month-old, and I'm just curious how people view me when I tell them I'm a single mom. It's not something I try to talk about often. Honestly, it's less about you and more about the man, because a man chose to lie down with you. Unless he passed away, a person doesn't look at the woman in a negative light, because the man is the one who is supposed to be the protector and the provider. And God rest his soul, but Charlie Kirk would say black men like to impregnate black women and leave. And that's how a lot of people look at it. That's why he said that, because a lot of people look at it like that. So they look at you more so like a charity case. You more so looked at like, oh, poor baby. Oh my goodness. Oh man. You gave your body away and you thought you were going to be with this person forever, and now he just up and left you. Oh my goodness. Do you need a GoFundMe? Like, is everything okay? Do I need to bring a gift basket over there to you? Honey, is everything all right? So people really start to look at you like a charity case, unfortunately, because they know that you didn't lie down to have that child, to raise that child by yourself. They know that you wanted to be with somebody. So a lot of people, they'll look at you. Me being a relationship coach, I don't look at it like that, because I see it as, if a man is willing to walk away, then y'all weren't meant to be together anyways. And having a man who don't love you in the house with your child is not smart. And being with a man who don't want to be with you is not smart. So I look at it like good riddance. And then it's also a teaching point for you to talk to young girls. And when you talk to your nieces and when you talk to other young girls that you meet and that you're around, you able to use yourself as an example and say, make sure that you know to the best of your ability. Like, make sure this man willing to put a ring on your finger and marry you. Make sure that this man has shown you that he love you and y'all best friends, and he want to really be with you and build with you. Do you think men and women will ever get it together again and want healthy relationships? With red pills and sprinkle mentality is hard out here for singles. What do you think needs to happen? No, it's only going to go down from here. But those who want to do right and who change their heart and their spirit and walk with the Lord will be okay. But the world as a whole, it's only going to get worse as we go forward. We're getting weaker and wiser. It's only going to get worse. But God people who he called, it's going to be okay for them. Do you follow the Chrisley family? What are your thoughts? They parted in May from Trump. That just go to show you how Trump get down. Because it's a lot of my uncle doing 40 years for $20 worth of drugs. It's like, if they did the crime, you got to do the time. If they come get me and say, Tony, hey, you got to go to prison because you ain't do this right here right on your paperwork, I'm going to go on down there and sit down and write me some books. My 3 hots in the cot and try not to get shanked. But no, he should have left their butt right on in there. But he did it because he got financial indictments. You know, he was found guilty of financial crimes and fraud and stuff. So he did that to be like, hey, let me shine a light on these people right here and they financial fraud, so everybody see I'm not the only one. Let me shine this light on here and let me look out for y'all and get y'all out of there, just in case when I get out of office, if I have to go to prison, the president will come pardon me. So that's all that was. Just a little bias. I'm 37, no kids. This guy who's 50 with 5 kids, divorced twice, likes me and wants to pursue me. What do you think? I think he's too old, but I like how he's mature and seasoned. Denisha, God bless you. God bless you. God bless you, Denisha. Okay. You know, you got a great personality, Denisha. You got a great heart. That right there tell me you are an empath. For you to see a man who is 13 years older than you with 5 kids and have been through 2 divorces, and he want to pursue someone 13 years younger than him. His oldest child probably only 7 years younger than you, maybe 5 years younger than you. So for you to see him as mature and seasoned, you might be the next pope. That means you got a good heart. Listen, sister, I pulled my hamstring reading that. I was running so fast. That right there, sister. The third is a charm, meaning you will be on a key ring as a charm. How you had a rabbit's foot. The third wife, you might end up in somebody's deep freezer, chopped up. He done lost twice. He ain't finna lose the third time. The third wife gonna have to pay the piper. Sister, I run so fast. You need to focus on your 3 B's. Tony, do you think men mature as they age? Met a 71-year-old accomplished lawyer. I'm 56, also an accomplished leader who just became a lawyer, just not interested in any nonsense. Yeah, some men mature as they age. It's case by case though. Some men stay stuck in their ways and they don't change. And so, but to be 71, for me to believe he's mature, he would need to be a widower. And if he's a widower, then I would look at him different. But 71 and single, and you 56, you about to be a home health aide. So you have to ask yourself, do you want to be a home health aide? Which you still may end up being one, but if you get somebody your age, you might have 20 to 25 years before you're a home health aide. In this case here, you might have 10 years before you changing diapers and stuff like that. You know, Deion Sanders 56 and he already have to wear diapers. And so different men have different lifestyles and go through different things. And so you got to be careful with that because you'll be changing catheters, pulling that catheter out. A lot of men try to date me at work. How to get to know each of them inside work so that I'm not just giving my number out to everybody and looking like a harlot. Yeah, that's how, just talk to them at lunch, talk to them at the break table, talk to them, hey, how you doing? You know, hey, listen, you know, we'll talk while we here because, you know, you're not the only person that's asking me for my number and I have to be very careful about that in the workplace. So let's just talk while we here, you know, build. Or you pick the one that you feel is the most suitable. If your picker is off, then get all their Facebook or their Instagram and we'll go through them one by one on a session. And you talk to them enough to hear their little situation. Because what you got to realize is a lot of people like a work wife or a work husband. So a lot of people at work that shooting a shot, they really want to talk to somebody to make work go by faster. They want to make work a little more fun, a little more thrill. And it's people who go to work and they will go to the family bathroom with a person they dealing with and they'll get it on. They'll go to their tenant car at lunchtime and get it on in the back seat. So a lot of times, so you can't really trust work relations. You got to be very careful and you got to feel it all throughout your fiber of your being before you start to deal with somebody at work, or it's going to be a very awkward situation. But to have multiple people trying to holler at you, then that's a great thing. What are your thoughts if a guy points out after ending communication after 2 weeks that wasn't about he wanted to feel seen and appreciated? Well, that could be a valid thing. You know, a lot of men want to feel seen and appreciated. And if that's what he mean, if he's saying that, I would ask him, what do you mean by feeling seen and appreciated? How does a woman show that? And see what he talking about. Because if it's not about that right there, that hanky panky, then he'll be able to give you an example of what he mean. But I think what we miss a lot of times as men and women is we miss people's upbringing. Like, for example, my wife, like a lot of women, has had her own life experiences that may change the way a woman views sleeping together. And so when they seen stuff and, heard stuff and all of this, it's like people approach it differently. And then people personality and how they was raised. And we forget that. And I think a lot of times men especially, we take it very personal with women because we don't understand women. And we don't understand that your average woman is not head over heels about getting in the bed. Like, your average woman can do without it and really needs to have everything firing on all cylinders to be in the mindset and in the mental space for that. And a lot of times those women will show their love in different ways. And you see the memes about it online. And they might have a spick and span house. They might cook dinner every day, but they might not be that sexual. And I think a lot of times men don't realize that. But I have learned that being a relationship coach and also being in a relationship, that I remember one time early in my marriage, I was talking to my wife about that intimacy, and we had to understand what we meant by intimacy. And so she expressed to me that us laying in the bed, watching the game and talking about the game, commenting about the game is intimacy. It's like sex to her. Like, it's as good as sex, like that quality time. And so when I understood that, then I had to realize that I honestly felt the same way. And I think a lot of times we as men, we feel like we want to have sex or we got to have sex to be a man or to feel like a man. But when we truly honest about it, it's a very fleeting and unfulfilling feeling. It's a very futile and meaningless feeling. Like, it's not earth shattering. It's not, you have a release, you feel weak in the knees, you feel lightheaded, and all it really is a high. That's all it is. It's a high. It's no different than a man getting drunk, no different than a man smoking weed, no different than none of that. That's all it is. It's a high. A lot of people don't realize that. A lot of men don't realize that about themselves. Should I stop dealing with, God bless you now, for the first and only, super chat. God bless you now. Let me see what's over here. New member. Okay, so became a member. And that there. Welcome to another member there. So we got 3 new members. God bless you. Let me see here. Should I stop dealing with the kids of someone I had a situationship with? He and I don't talk. The kids are teens. He said he's not ready to be in a relationship, so I moved on. I'm not dating. Yes, you're gonna have to stop dealing with the kids to a degree. Don't reach out to them. If they reach out to you, they may be reaching out to you because he told them to reach out to you. Now, when you meet somebody, you'll have to change their name to bill collector. Their phone need to say such and such bank or something like that. Because if you meet another man and you dealing with another man's kids, you're going to lose that new man that you met. And a lot of times what we do as men is we'll take and we'll have our mom or our sister or our kids reach out to a woman that we used to deal with just to play with her mind and to strengthen the soul tie, to make her have to start her healing process all over again. So when you cut a man off, you got to cut off everything and everyone connected to him, except for if y'all had kids together. And if y'all had kids together, then that's when you deal with the people from his side of things who deal with you with the kids, like his mom or his dad or his siblings. I watch a lot of documentaries, and it seems more and more women are committing more what's happening with women. Yeah, it's a spiritual attack on women. And I read somewhere where it says 15 million women a year go through inexplicable depression. But it's also, I would say, maybe 80 to 90% of women fill their brain with crime content. So if you take a brain full of crime shows, Dateline, Forensic Files, all of these crime shows or crime books, true crime and all of that stuff, mix that with perimenopause, menopause, onset depression, and that leads to violent crime. So you really got to be careful. You got to be very careful with what you put in your mind. Now, anybody not in the All Access membership, our next retreat gonna be with the All Access members. We got Costa Rica coming up next month. The next retreat is gonna be all at the All Access members. It's on Tony Gaskins Academy. My next film project, we casting through the All Access members. So on top of getting access to 70 plus courses, then you also gonna have a lot of other perks. So y'all go and join that while it's affordable. Hey Tony, been watching you for about 10 years. How do you feel about the law being passed about Trump deporting U.S. citizens? I didn't know nothing about that law, sister. Did not know about that law. But I'm guessing you saying it's like, is it people who they came from another country, got citizenship, then got in trouble, and he deporting them? And I'm gonna tell y'all something. I don't think Trump is racist. I think the powers that be that he trying to please, that he trying to work for, is racist. Because you got to realize America is America. The feelings of the power structure, like the people who founded America, the people who was in power in America, those families stay in power. They may be unknown, they may be hidden, they may be a private secret society. If you was okay with slaves and with raping of slaves, beating of slaves, hanging and killing of slaves, your heart don't change. If you was reading the Holy Bible and claiming to be a Christian, but mistreating people of another race, your heart don't change. And so the powers that be, so now Trump could be racist or he could not be racist, but the people that's behind him that he doing this stuff for, because y'all got to realize we live in a system to where the president ain't just the president. The president get told what to do. The money control everything. That's why I'm not in politics. Because you only got but so much power. You only got but so much power. So you got to realize that there now. I've been abstinent for 2 years this month. I've been watching you for 2 years and it's changed my life. I'm 44 and planning to wait for marriage. Thank you. God bless you. Only that's good. So if you doing that, then God gonna do right by you. God gonna bless you. God gonna do right by you if you doing that. So stay on the right path with that. Tashia, you ain't got to go online now, but you got to get out the house. And anywhere you get out the house to, everybody who on here OG know I'm finna say Starbucks, Barnes and Noble. Go to the local events on Eventbrite. Get on meetup.com. I got one client, met her husband, walking to her mailbox at her auntie house. Men everywhere. But here's the thing now, Tashia. You got to have your 3 Bs. You got to have your 3 Bs if you want to attract the man that you want. Men everywhere now. And I'm going to tell you, a lot of women, a lot of y'all can't dress. A lot of y'all can't dress. Hate to tell y'all that now. Don't get mad. Scratch your booty and get glad. A lot of y'all cannot dress. A lot of y'all can't do y'all hair right. And I'm trying to tell you now. That's where, I'm going to tell y'all something. That's where white women, that's where they win at. What I mean by that is, a lot of white women raise their daughter to be a wife. Black women, because of the black struggle, don't raise their daughters to be wives. Black women are focused on survival. So black women rarely get the luxury of raising their daughter to be a wife. And if a black woman is not a wife, it's even going to make her more reluctant to raise her daughter to be a wife. So what I find as a man who is married, even my wife was not raised to be a wife. She just happened to be young and taking care of herself and doing the right things and all of that. And I wasn't overly picky. So I say this to say, which we're going to do the fashion class. We're going to do the fashion class and all of that. And when we talk about all this stuff, but a lot of y'all, and Tashia, your hair, you look good. You taking care of yourself. Eyebrows look good. Skin look good. So you taking care of yourself. So you can just get out the house. You just get out the house and go anywhere. But I'm speaking in general. Speaking in general. To women in general. You don't know what you don't know. And they don't teach us how to love in school. We're not raised to be a husband. We're not raised to be a wife. And so you got to take and you got to work on you. And it ain't going to be easy. It's not going to be easy. It is not going to be easy. I know you say don't date online, and I understand the pickings are slim, but what do you do when you live in a rural area where desirable black men are limited? That's when you get online. There are exceptions to the rule for online dating, but you need to be in coaching so that you have a second opinion. And you're able to do that. Y'all, we got about 20 more minutes. Advice on establishing true, healthy, Christ-like boundaries as a minister without coming across as unkind, bothered, and dismissive, especially when it comes to sharing contact info and managing frequent requests. Well, ministers need love too. So you got to make sure that you are reading your Bible every day, praying every day, living 100% righteous. And if you're doing that, a man with a demon in him, it's going to be like an alarm going off. And a man that God sent, you're going to feel a peace and you're going to feel an ease. So the key is to get closer to God. Not to the point that you're unrelatable, but to the point that you have discernment and you walking with the Lord. And y'all forgive me, grab this other one. I'm grateful for the Lord using me, but find myself occasionally spiritually drained and then feeling guilty about that. Perhaps I should charge a fee. LOL, JK, God bless. Yeah, you are spiritually drained. And at the same time, too, the Bible doesn't promote ministry and marriage. When you think about Apostle Paul, he didn't promote ministry and marriage. He said, if you want to be married, then be married. If you want to be in ministry, be in ministry. And so a lot of it don't go together. So it is such thing as being, spiritually drained, because you pouring, but it ain't even just spiritually drained. You also tired from working. You at church, you working. That's work. You dealing with people. Hi, Tony, can you go back over connection and communication? Like if someone texts you in the morning and don't text again till night every day, is that okay? Yep, it's okay if they working a job. If they going to work, then that is totally fine. Totally fine. But what you need to be focusing on, God bless you, Crystal. But what you need to be focusing on, Crystal, is not texting. Do y'all talk on the phone? Do y'all talk on the phone? Oh, yeah. Yes, he is. Because he got a little freak in him. Was with that Epstein. Once you get on out there, you start to want it all. You start to want to get you all kind of a little something. Yeah, he don't try to fight it now. He definitely don't try to fight nothing. Dealing with my manager now at the office, and now I'm heartbroken. I keep trying to cut it off and going back how to let go. Sister, gonna need a coaching session. We ain't gonna be able to help you all the way on here in the little time that we got. But yep, definitely made you a mistake if y'all ain't moving forward and getting dressed and all of that. I mean, I read dress because I seen this, but getting serious and moving forward. And got a beauty consultant now on here. Yeah, I'm gonna tell y'all, really, a lot of y'all dress like y'all grandma or y'all aunties. And it ain't y'all fault. That's who you grew up around. That's who you was around. You saw how they dress and all of that. And it just, like, fashion is an art. Like, you really got to invest in that. Like, you got to learn that. You got to learn that. Got about 15 more minutes here, y'all. So I'm trying to get through these here questions fast as I can. I'm 40, but men that approach me tend to think I'm in my mid or late 20s. Most people do. The men are usually 30s and up. Is that a red flag? How do I vet them after telling my age? Well, that's a compliment. And you 40, you could go as young as 35. Really want to be 37 and up. But that is a compliment. And the fact that you're getting approached, that's a good thing. You just have to increase your rate of exposure. Got to increase your rate of exposure so that you start to meet more 40-year-old men. How should we properly reject someone without being dismissive or ghosting? So if you have given them your number, because you say ghosting, because you can't ghost them if they don't have your number, then you would text them and you would text him and let him know on text. And then you can offer a phone call if he would like to call. You could lean on Chat GPT, ironically. But essentially, you let him know that you don't want to waste his time. So you put it on you being respectful of his time because you don't feel y'all are a fit. And it's no hard feelings, but you don't want to be in the way and blocking his blessings when he meets the woman that is for him. You want him to be completely clear and free. So you kind of put it like that. Have not heard about that, Bree Jordan. That's a little too far in the gutter for me. I don't keep up with that right there now. Got to be breaking news. Got to be big news. I ain't heard nothing about that. Single mom with a 13-year-old. I live in a rough area, so he stays with my mom for a better school than with me on the weekend. Even with Fresh Start, he isn't taking school seriously. How can I give him structure across two households? Well, the thing what you have to realize is a school, you need to move in with your mama. And you and him could share a room. But if you are his mom, he came out of you, not your mama. So he need to see your face every day. And because by you putting him with her, because your child don't care about a better school. Your child feel like his mama gave him away. And that's why he's not taking school seriously, because his mama gave him away. His mama put him on grandma. And for a quote unquote better school, a public school is a public school. They ain't teaching nothing no different. And if it's an expensive private school, then that means you got the money for private school, so you have the money to move over there where the school at, or go live with your mama. Sleep where he's sleeping at. And so you could be around him more, or go see him every day. Drop him off, pick him up. Can't do that because of work, then you got to make a difference. But when you give your child away, I'm dealing with that now with my boys program. With some of the boys that I'm mentoring, they never had a real good relationship with their mom, and they had a relationship with their grandma. And now they really have a disdain, at 16, 15, 16, 17, 18, they have a disdain towards their mom. And they don't really respect their mom. They don't really, quote unquote, love their mom. And they love grandma. And they see grandma as mama. And the school or the situation that they was living in with grandma didn't better their life, didn't do anything for their life. Because it's not that much of a difference. It's not that much of a difference. And if a child is in a rough, terrible, raggedy school, if he got mama at home to help him with his homework, to establish character and all those things in his life, he gonna be good in the midst of that school. He'll end up being student body president. He'll end up being first in his class. That's gonna help him on his college resume, help him get into a better college, because now he first in his class. The college is going to be able to Google the school, but they ain't going to be able to learn too much about it. But they also want him. They also want to take somebody from that F school so that they could say, we gave little such and such a chance. And so you got to look at the other way too. Way back to the 80s, he is racist. Yeah, I know about that with them apartments and all of that right there and stuff like that. I still don't think he a racist. I just think that he try to please people around him, and he adapt to the situation, because when you racist, a racist don't want to do nothing with no black people. I done been invited to go to dinner with Trump, And racists don't want to be around no kind of black people. They don't want nothing from black people. They don't want to be around black people. They don't want none of that. And so we got to realize about white people, a lot of them are not racist. It's just you get ostracized as a white person if you don't act like those around you who are racist. It ain't even about being racist. I could just tell how Trump act, how he talk. He not really a racist. It's just he doing, and he's about money. So when he had them apartments, he probably looked at the numbers and say black people can't afford to stay in here, or black people go through too many financial issues. Black people get too high rate of eviction, and he chose green dollar over skin color. And so that's the thing. But it's one of those situations where he too remedial to be racist. Like he kind of got a trailer park vibe to him. So he might be a little prejudiced or whatever, but, and I don't care for the man, but a lot of times it don't be what we think it is. It literally them trying to fit in, them trying to assimilate, them trying to be like the real racists, like them trying to make sure they don't cut off that money. Make sure they don't, because you got to remember, Trump got on because his daddy gave him $1 million. So if his daddy was racist, and his daddy told him, "Hey, don't let the Negroes stay in the apartments," then he got to do that. But I could just tell how he talk. I could tell how he talk. He really just like he's like a puppet. Like it ain't just really him. It's what he doing, what he told to do. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying, Kalisha. Yeah, you're gonna have to pray. Do guys really compartmentalize between girlfriend material and wife material? Yes, but not a man who's looking for a wife. A man who's not looking for a wife, then he will date a woman that is girlfriend material and not wife material. But a man who is looking for a wife, his girlfriend have to be wife material. And what you have to realize about men is a lot of men, I don't want to say most men, but I would say a lot of men do not mind wasting time in a relationship. So a lot of men will give 2 years to 7 years away to a woman that he knows he doesn't want to marry. And it's just because he is attracted to her and he sees her as a good time, a fun time, or just something he want to conquer. Dara J, have you started casting for your film project? I'm an actress and all access member and a line believer, would love to audition. God bless you. So, hey, as long as you're in the all access, when we do our castings, you'll be the first to know. This first film project, that the link is in the description, that we got on Kickstarter, which y'all know Kickstarter is all or nothing. So if y'all want to see the project come to life now, join us on there, even if you just got $1. Because you got to think about it. Everybody gave $1 now, we'll hit the goal. But we it's only 2 main characters. So they already was picked at the beginning before we got there. But we're going to be doing more seasons and continuing to go. So we will have more opportunities. So stick around. And then also, but we in Florida though too. So that's the thing. That will be good exposure for you. But we in Florida, so it'll be a long shot. And you got a 6-month-old too now. I ain't gonna do you like that now. I have y'all here on my little raggedy project. You got a 6-month-old. Track shoes for men that subscribe to Kevin Samuel's beliefs about women. Absolutely. Pull a hamstring. Tear a hamstring. You running so fast. Yeah, and I'm a man that, like everything Kevin Samuel said, he is trash. He is trash. He is not husband material. He's not husband. He said some stuff that made sense. Yeah, everything he said was bad. There's a lot of stuff he said. I won't say a lot, but it was stuff he said that made perfect sense. that I agree with. But if somebody subscribed to everything he said and all that he believes, the man is trash. That's why he was grown and not married. Sharon, God bless you. Y'all, in 10 minutes, got an interview going up with Jessica Rich. She got an amazing virtual event coming up for the women, so y'all get to know Jessica Rich. She is one of my year coaching clients. So my year coaching clients, y'all will get to meet them when we launch their business, when we do those things. And I have to say that because I don't want anybody to think I'm giving special privileges to certain women. These are women who have invested in their brand, invested in their business, and they in my year coaching program. So we develop businesses and build business, because you know how people is. They'll be like, oh, Tony on a platform. Tony might be putting some meat leg on her. Ooh, all right. No, I don't have female friends. I don't have women friends. I have women clients. There's not one woman in the world that I call a friend. I have clients, colleagues. I don't even have associates. So every woman that I talk to has paid me for my services. We keep it all the way business over here. We do that. There ain't no Derrick Jackson business going on over here. Ain't no funny business. And when I get weak and I'm spiritually weak, then I let my clients know, hey, got to take a break, got to close my books. I ain't got the energy. Because every man get tempted and tested, and you get spiritually weak, and you be out here and you be wanting to pounce on you something. So when you see these men leave their wife, see these men cheat on their wife, every man go through that. We all feel that. We all get tested and tempted, but you got to be able to speak about that. You got to be able to know that. You got to be able to know boundaries. And I get tested by more and more women. And in the sense of, women wanting to do more coaching or more FaceTime or Zoom or something like that. I done had women in the past who would hire me just to get on a Zoom call. They're not even trying to work on themselves. So that happens. But because I'm aware of it, I'm able to subvert it. But my clients, and especially my year coaching clients, all above the board. I mean, amazing people, men and women. Some of them couples. One group is sisters that I haven't started working with yet, but they done already signed up. And so that was something the Lord put on my heart a couple years ago, to create a program where I could teach everything that I know, that I could share every resource, every connection, everything that I know. And I'm still growing myself. Daryl in here, God bless you, Daryl, $100. Now, I'm going to be honest with y'all. When a man come on here and do what Daryl did, the first thing I go to is, Lord, is this man ex-wife on here, or this man ex-girlfriend on here, and he trying to let her know, I see you. That's the first thing. Y'all got to forgive him. So I still am learning and growing and healing from me being a no good man. I be having to make room for good men. Like Brother Daryl came on here and dropped that blessing there. God bless you. God bless you. Sophia's, God bless you. So now I don't know if Daryl married. Daryl might be married now, because it's a couple of couples that's in the Blessed Tribe too that I've heard from. So Daryl might be married. If Daryl's single, we might do a little matchmaking, because Daryl sitting on the blue notes now. Daryl got no blue notes now. Listen, Daryl might drive trucks. Daryl might could afford that seafood dinner. You hear me? Might start doing us a little matchmaking on here now. You don't never know now. Daryl might have it over there. How do I set boundaries with my child father who is in jail? We not together, and I moved out of the state with our son when he was arrested. Sister, you're going to need a session on that one now, because that's a little deep. That's a little deep there. It's a little deep. And it also depends on if he's a violent criminal or a non-violent criminal. It also depends there too. But hey, God bless y'all. In 5 minutes, Jessica Rich video going up on my page. Want y'all to watch that. YouTube counted the view as 31 seconds, but y'all watch that, get to know Coach Jessica. She does retreats. I'm trying to convince her to bump up her retreats to quarterly, to where she do 4 a year, but just so that y'all have people that you can vacation with, so that it's a retreat going every quarter. So whatever part of the year you want to take a vacation, it's one going. I think they about to do Bali or something like that, Greece or Thailand, but she mentions it on the interview, so y'all do that. And one of the sisters who was one of my clients, 75 years old, was going to the Costa Rica retreat with us, and came into a couple of health situations, and she had to cancel her spot today, and you only get a partial refund. So I hated to see that happen, because I wish we could just swap her name out with one of y'all, which they were saying it was too late to change people, but that's a lie, because y'all ain't book her flight. All y'all did was book her hotel room. Y'all could change that name, but they probably trying to keep some of that money, and they probably got a cancellation policy with them hotels and stuff, to where they get to keep all her money that they so-called paid. So you know how these travel people be, or they might have paid some of it. Yep, I do matchmaking, but we can't afford it. That's crazy. I offer a service I can't afford. Have you seen and heard the Dame Dash Breakfast Club interview? Any insight about it? No, I've only seen a clip where he mentioned something about Charlemagne not being the type of man that represent masculinity and something like that, which I think he get mad with Charlemagne. I like Charlemagne because Charlemagne speak his mind. Charlemagne like Black Donald Trump. Just they don't have no filter. So that's why I like Charlemagne. And I've known Charlemagne since before he got the Breakfast Club job. And he don't care too much for me, because I'm more of a real man, in the sense of just stand on more principles, more values, more morals, and don't really sway, and a devout Christian. And so a lot of guys don't like that. But I'm going to watch that interview and see what Dame was talking about. Yeah, Sharon, LA is a city of devils. It's going to be hard to meet your man out there. Woo, God bless you. I normally try to uplift you and have some hope for you. LA, I ain't got no hope for you, sister. That's a city there. That's a different city. That's worse than Miami probably. But hey, God bless y'all. 9 p.m. Y'all catch Coach Jessica interview that's about to pop up. Go to my videos, catch that. All the important links in the description. Shout out to the moderators. Thank y'all so much for the help. And shout out to Daryl, who came in strong and blessed us. God bless you. And all the important links in the description. We'll see y'all tomorrow.